Welcome to Some Guy's Garage. I've got a really cool new toolbox in the garage today to check out. This is brand new. They're just getting released right now. And these are the Montezuma Triangle tool cases. So they're actually triangle shaped here on the side. You can kind of see the slant. And they have now gotten a version branded for Dewalt. So you've all seen the videos on my channel before. I do a lot of reviews on Dewalt tools, so I was really excited to get this and give it a try. Full disclosure, Montezuma did send this to me without any charge, but I am allowed to say whatever I want about the toolbox. So this will be an honest review. Just want to be completely transparent, and this was sent to me, but that's about it. And speaking of sent to me, let me take you back to when it arrived and I unboxed it first. So the new Dewalt Triangle Toolbox has arrived and looks pretty well packed. So it's shrink wrap, there's obviously cardboard boxing, and it came on a pallet. So all told, it looks pretty good. It came freight, which is interesting too. So I'm excited to see what's inside. Obviously I haven't seen this thing yet, so we'll get it unboxed here and check it out. All right, plastic here. We've got strapping to strap it to the pallet and the box itself. Apparently these don't cut. Pull the top off here. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? No damage at all. Nicely packed. A little bit of dust here, but that's as expected. Wow, is this thing ever nice? All right, so that was a pretty easy and uneventful unboxing. Pretty good first impression. And now back to checking this new toolbox out. So today I'm going to walk you through some of the features and how this thing works and how I've laid it out. It's pretty neat organization system, and the amount of stuff you can actually fit in one of these toolboxes compared to a standard toolbox is pretty impressive. So I'm going to walk you through that, touch on some of the features, and just let you know some of my initial impressions of this thing. So let's get started. First things first, this is the black version. There will be a yellow and a yellow-black one as well. I like the black aesthetic the best with the yellow printing. I think it looks pretty good. It is kind of a textured powder coat finish on it. And the other thing you'll notice quite quickly with these is the build quality. So this is 16 gauge steel. It's actually pretty thick and everything's welded really nicely. The corners here, and as we get into it, you can see just like a lot of attention to detail that has gone into making these boxes compared to, say, what you'd find in another brand at the big box store or anything like that. So it looks like a very well built toolbox in general. There's not a lot of flex or anything like that in the actual box itself, and doesn't feel flimsy. Also, from what I understand, the powder coat is rated for outdoor use. So you can technically leave these outside, and there's another neat feature I'll show you in a second that kind of goes along with that to make it a pretty versatile box. You could actually leave it on a service truck or something like that, and not necessarily have to always protect the box itself from the elements as much as you would with a normal toolbox. So moving inside, it is a lockable toolbox. They give you a couple keys for it so we can unlock it. If it's not locked, you can't pull the handle, but then once unlocked, it does pull. And then when you open it up, there is a gas strut that lifts the top so you can get access to everything inside. So once open, you can see the locking mechanism here. So it's a bar that runs across. There's some latches down below. And the other interesting thing you can see here is there's a gasket, kind of like what you would see on a car door, that runs around the outside all the way down both sides and across the front. And that's just to help weather seal it. So you won't normally see that on a toolbox, but that gives it that more outdoor rating, such that you can actually leave this outside without a bunch of water or other things getting into the toolbox. So looking back down here, I've loaded this up with a bunch of my tools to try it out. Took me a little while to play with the layouts to see what I liked and where things would fit nicely. But I think I have a fairly decent layout now with the right tools in the right spots to kind of maximize the use of all the different pegs and holes that they give you in these toolboxes. So let me walk you through some of that. So starting down at the bottom here for the sockets, it actually fits all the different types you would expect. So you have quarter in metric, quarter in standard, 3/8 in metric, 3/8 in standard, half in metric, and half in standard. So there's lots of pegs here. In particular, there are 18 of these in the quarter standards. There's 28 of the metric in quarter drive. There are 20 of the 3/8 standard and 24 of the 3/8 metric. And finally, there is 12 of the half drive in standard and 18 of the half drive in metric. So lots of space for all the different types of sockets that you might have. My sets didn't actually entirely fill it, so I have a couple pegs here, and I also added a spark plug socket here, and there's a couple spots as well. But basically for a full complete socket set, you do have the space here. And the nice thing is the pegs aren't drive size specific. They are different sizes and different spaces. So there is a bit of kind of planning that probably went into the design of this to make sure that the right set of sockets fit. But there's nothing that prevents you from switching things around if you want. Just to change the layout or to putting, you know, a 1/4 inch socket up on a larger rail or anything like that. So you do have some flexibility in your placement. And then I also just put some extensions down here in the little valleys. So we have some half drive, some 3/8 and some 1/4 drive extensions that'll sit in there and just give you easy access to those as well. So lots of good socket organization here. And then moving up across the top is storage for wrenches. So I've put in standard. I have both, the pegs are long enough you can actually put 2 sets of wrenches or even probably 3 sets of wrenches on them. So I've got standards up here in both long and short handle. So I've even got some little mini ones here. And then I've got ratcheting up here in the top right hand side. These are all metric ratcheting. And then my standard metric ones here across the front. Again, both in standard and stubbies where I had the sizes. Again, a lot of flexibility in the layout here too. So you're not limited where you put the pegs. They do have them, again, different sizes, but you can kind of lay this out however you want, whatever's your most access. So if you want to put your standards here and your metrics here or vice versa, you could do that. And it's nice to see that it'll fit regular wrenches, ratcheting, stubbies, all of that sort of stuff. And also it will take a fairly full-size wrench. So you're not limited in tool size here. I can actually put my 1 1/8, kind of some of my larger combination wrenches here, and they fit just fine. And then right front and center here, because it's a Dewalt review, I had to pick up some new Dewalt screwdrivers. Kind of cool. They're actually fairly nice. I might do a review on those separately. But there's enough space here to fit a decent set of screwdrivers. So I have flats and Phillips and square drive, because we're in Canada here, and square, or Robertson, the proper name for it, are kind of important. But there's a nice spot here for a different selection of screwdrivers. They all just lift out, and there's holes here that just kind of hold at the handle level. So you're not limited in any of the arrangement here. And then moving to the top right here is place for, I've used it for wrenches. You could probably put some screwdrivers here, and they have staggered hold sizes. So you can put various sizes of different handles and ratchets in all of these different holes. And you can put some extensions here as well. So there's some flexibility. That seems to be the theme with this. It's not designed around any specific tool set. You can mix and match and put your own stuff in here. But the nice thing is they have a variety of different sizes and spots for things that work out quite nice. But yeah, there is space for 9 different ratchets or extensions up here in the top left. So moving down below the wrenches is, I think, one of the cool differentiators of this version of the Triangle Toolbox versus some of the other ones is it has a tool holder for your Dewalt cordless tools. And this is a DCF 923, but you could also fit, say, a DCF 891, which is what this is, will also fit in that space. So you can slide that in as well, but you have a lot of flexibility in which tool you put there. And you could change these out from standard sockets to impact sockets, and then have a nice impact wrench with impact sockets set up here as well. And then the other nice thing is you can leave the tool with the battery on. I have it off right now so I could fit some other tools underneath, but you could also just leave the battery on and then fit things around it. But yeah, kind of really like that feature, being able to throw an impact wrench or driver or drill in the box with everything else and having a dedicated space for it. And then just when you think everything is done, so I've gone through sockets and wrenches and screwdrivers and ratchets and cordless tools and all of that, there's more to it. You know, but wait, there's more. This lifts up. So you're able to get a whole bunch more storage space underneath, and this is a little more freeform than the pegs and stuff that go up above. Again, this is just lifted on gas struts, so it does go up fairly easy, up and down. The sockets and everything else don't fall off. They've designed it such that the pegs will hold the sockets as you lift it and things don't move around, which is awesome. So what I've done down here is just added some other tools that I kind of want to have on hand. In particular, pliers, of course, and I added the bit of plier racking in here, so that's not standard with it. They do give you a couple straps to hold things down in here, but I figured pliers and some racks for that would be a really nice addition. So I've got a selection of pliers across the bottom, hammer, measuring tape, Allen keys, whatever else can kind of fit in the bottom here. But the other really nice feature of this toolbox is it has a power bar built in. There's an IEC, like a standard IEC plug on the back of the unit, and it comes into this, and you can actually leave your charger and battery in here plugged in, ready to go. So you don't actually need to have separate power bars and all of that stuff running around. You have power right here, and there's 3 outlets plus a couple USB. So you can charge your phone, for instance, or like I said, your battery chargers or anything else that needs to be plugged in can get stored down underneath here inside the toolbox, and just be really convenient to be an all-in-one solution without having to have a separate charging area. You can keep your tools kind of dry and secure in this box just by using the built-in power bar. Anyway, that's how I've set it up underneath. And like I said, you can just close that back down and you have access to your normal socket sets and wrenches and everything else just from the front. Anyway, overall first impressions of this, it's a really interesting and innovative product. The amount of stuff you can fit in this box, well organized, easy to get at. For something, this one's 30 inches wide, 15 inches deep, and around 19 inches tall, which is actually a fairly small footprint for the amount of stuff they are able to actually give you storage space for inside of this. They do have a larger 36-inch version, but I wanted to try the bit smaller one just because I think it'll work better in my space. Anyway, that's my first look at the Montezuma Dewalt Triangle Toolbox. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll also leave some links to the Montezuma toolboxes so you can check them out for yourself. If you aren't already subscribed, please consider it. And as always, thanks for watching.